Good morning. My name is Amy DeGurian, and I am the Hartford Partnership Program and Aging Education's coordinator. And I'm going to talk to you just for a few minutes. I know we're heading into the lunchtime hour, and most of you have been sitting here since about 8:30, and a lot of what I'm going to say is going to sound like this: blah, 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 aging, blah, blah, blah. So I'm hoping to at least pique your interest in this area so that at a minimum, when you leave here today, you go, what was that lady's name and how do I get a hold of her? So my name is Amy DeGurian, and my email, which is really the best way to get in touch with me, is aad62@pitt.edu. What is the Hartford? The Hartford Partnership Program in Aging Education is available to bachelor's and master's students here at the University of Pittsburgh. It is a national initiative that was started about 8 years ago when someone with a little bit of insight realized that the baby boomer bubble was really going to impact human services. For example, if I were to ask for a show of hands of how many people in this room hope to work with older adults, about 12% of you would raise your hand and go, yeah, that's my thing. The reality is about 77% of you will end up at some point in your career working with older adults. So the need is there, and what was realized is that we really needed to put together the education piece. So Hartford is a very specified fellowship program that identifies with students who have an interest in that area. I'm not 100% sure about this. Oh, good, okay. There's 5 components to Hartford, and I'm going to only briefly touch on these. There are geriatric competencies. That's not for the people that you're meeting with. We don't look for our geriatric population to be competent. It's our competency. Hey, can you do this? It's our competencies in working with folks who are, and geriatric is now defined somewhere between 60 and above. Well, if you live to be 104, that's about a 44-year range. We do rotation-based field placements. This is very important and very different than what Mickey had indicated in terms of field. In regular field, you do a field placement your first year, you do a field placement your second year, and you graduate and you get a job. All right, cool. With Hartford, you rotate through a variety of field placements both in your first year and in your second year. And that can be between agencies, where you might start out at the YMCA and you may finish up your first year at JF and CS, or it can be among a specific agency, where you're at the VA Medical Center, but you rotate through a number of different services and areas that they have available there. The idea behind the rotational model is that we want to provide a lot of breadth in terms of what's available in the field of gerontology, as opposed to depth, which is I'm going to spend 8 months at this one agency learning everything I can about outpatient therapy. So we really want to get your feet wet so that you have an understanding of the services that are available, where the jobs are available, and where the needs are really being indicated. And so you'll look at opportunities for the elderly, as well as opportunities in hospice, palliative care, and very intensive medical situations. We have a computer, we do, and it's right here. We also have a community partnership, which indicates that our field rotations are within, as Mickey had indicated, there's 400 with the school. With Hartford, there's about 20. And we work very specifically with those 20 agencies to provide Hartford field placements for our students. There is an enhanced role of the field instructor that doesn't really apply to anybody sitting in this room. However, do know that if this is an area that you're interested in, that your field instructor is required to do some additional things for you. We also look specifically at leadership development, because it's not so much about getting that job, but as Keith mentioned, it's a job you're probably going to be in or around or among for, I don't know, you hope to be employed maybe 40 years. And we want to look at the opportunity for leadership development in the area of gerontology. There is the dreaded and beloved group project for the Hartford cohorts. Most of the Hartfords, when they graduate, indicate it was the best, worst part of the whole thing. You're required in your first year to identify an area of need, and then to develop as a group a project that meets that need. And as a final culmination of all your work, you provide a presentation in April, shortly before you graduate, for about 75 people, including community partners, members of the faculty, parents, spouses. It's a pretty big group. We also have a potential for stipend, and I am really happy to report with Hartford, in the past, about 85 to 90% of our students received some sort of stipend at their field placement because they were Hartford students. This semester, I had set a goal. 100% of our Hartfords are stipended. Now, I don't know if that's something I can maintain. I think I might have just gone from 0 to 60 in 0.2 seconds, so I may run out of gas. But right now, the potential for stipends with Hartford is very, very, very good. Oh, I talked about that. What is a rotational model? You're going to get breadth and not depth. Oh, I don't like this. That is the Happy Hartford guy. We talked about competencies, and again, those are specific to the Hartford students. Knowledge. We're going to enhance your knowledge. Oh, this is not my favorite PowerPoint, just saying. Values. Also the core values, not as it applies to social workers specifically, but how we apply those values to work with gerontological population. The skills needed to work successfully in that area. Obviously, you're going to go to multiple sites. Oh my God. I don't know what that one did. Oh, here we go. Oh, I did talk about this. You're going to you will have opportunity to work with the well elderly, the functionally impaired, and also end of life. Some of you may be sitting, oh, here's some statistics. Some of you may be sitting here thinking, Hartford sounds good, but I don't know if I want that kind of commitment, because it is a commitment. It's a 62 credit master's instead of a 60 credit master's. We do require additional field work. There is the mandatory group process, and we also have an additional lecture series that students are required to attend. So you may be going, I get it, but I don't know if I want to go Hartford. That's okay. The University of Pittsburgh School of Social Work also has a gerontology certificate program, which sort of could be assimilated to Hartford Light. You're going to take the same core courses. You're going to do at least one field placement in a gerontology-based field site, but you're not required to do the other elements that make Hartford, that sets Hartford apart. Some of you might be going, yeah, no, not even that. Then I will urge you to at least take one class that deals specifically with gerontology, whether that's direct practice with the elderly, whether it's another social welfare policy. A lot of students are drawn, understanding, of course, that 100% mortality rate with the human race, you might find the death and dying class to be of interest and provide you some necessary skills moving forward in your career. Just as an overview, baby boomers will need and change services. They have pushed the edge of the envelope all the way. They are not going to stop now. 22% of Allegheny County's population is 65 and older. And as I indicated, I actually think this is a little higher, but 73% of social workers report working with older adults, where only 12% identify as being in aging jobs. So a lot of what you do, whether it's hospital-based social work, I did hospital-based social work for a number of years, the majority of the people in the hospital were older. But was that considered an aging placement? No. An aging job? No. But there were very few people who came through my unit specifically, I worked in orthopedics, who were under 65. Oh. I'll be available for the question and answer period. If you are interested at all in Hartford, I can give you information on how to identify where to find that on the website. I can also give you my contact information again, and I thank you for your time.